What's going on, people? It's your boy Uncle Fred, and I brought somebody with me. I got my man TK with me, and you know what it is. It's Saturday. It's about 1:50, and we about to get into week 11.
Yeah.
And without any further preliminary, we finna get into these picks, and we're gonna let you know exactly how we did. So hang with Uncle Fred and my main man TK, and we're gonna tell you about these picks. Hang with us.
2 times on the beat, bitch.
What's good, people? Again, it's your boy Uncle Fred, my main man TK. TK Uncle Fred Pick'em Show, week 11. Go ahead and hit that like, the comment, and subscribe. Become a part of Uncle Fred Sports Experience. Again, you will not be disappointed. Look here, man. TK, what you got to say to the folks, man? Say hello to the folks, man.
What's up? What's up? Let's make some picks. It's time.
Make some picks. How you feeling today, man? You feeling good, man? Everything good?
Oh yeah, yeah. Everything's wonderful, man. Grateful at all times. So NFL Sunday is upon us once again. So let's do it.
Come upon us once again. And just like I said, dude, it's week 11 already, man. And like I said, these days, these games get away from you, man. It's like that saying in the hourglass. After a while, it's all out, and it's like, man, where did all of it go? And it's like February, and it's like, dang, you be jonesing for July and August to come around so you can see some preseason and stuff. So it get away quick, man. It just do. So uh let's go ahead and look at the thing, look at the tail of the tape. Uh Look, your boy, Uncle TK got me again, man. Got me about one pick. We had 14 games to pick from last week. Had about four teams I think was off. I want to say the Dolphins,
Yeah.
the Eagles, the
Mm-hmm.
Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
One other team. I can't think of what it is. It'll come to me in a minute. But so it's four teams off. So it's two extra games. So instead of 16, it was 15. It was 14 or whatever. Um, so I went 8-6, and you went 9-5. So you know,
We can do better.
if had I picked like I wanted to pick on that Thursday night game, I'd have went with the Ravens. I just thought that, because I mean, especially had I known Cincinnati was going to drop that one Sunday, I'm like, oh yeah, they're definitely not losing two in a row. You I would have picked Cincinnati because I'm like, they're not losing two in a row. They're just too good to lose two in a row. But then dreaded injury thing, man. That injury bug ain't no joke, man. We're gonna talk about that as we get into these picks, man. The injury thing is real, and it just changes the perspective of all the teams and the whole landscape of the playoff picture and all of that stuff is affected when just one dude go down and be like, dang, the whole fortunes of everybody that's involved with that franchise is now changed. And so we'll talk about that. We're talking about Joe Burrow. We're talking about Mark Andrews, Deshaun Watson. We got a scare about Lamar Jackson. I was scared for him. Uh, but we're gonna go ahead and get into these picks. I said I went 8-6. He went 9-5. I think we both missed on Cleveland, Cincinnati. Cleveland, Baltimore. Cleveland came back and won that one. High scoring game. I didn't expect it to be 33-31. Never expected that. Um, we both missed on the Cincinnati Houston game. Uh, I missed on the Buccaneers Titans. He missed on the Falcons, Cardinals. A couple others we missed on. We both missed on Buffalo and Denver. Yeah, we both missed on all those right there. So, and so anyway, so it's a new week. I got a chance to get, I think we got like 15, 16 games this week. So I got a chance to go, 16-0. I'm going to try to do that. So let's go ahead and get into these picks, man. Let's see what they're talking about. So week 11, 12 o'clock hour. Ain't no games in London, no games in Frankfurt. All the games are stateside this week. So, all right, first game we're gonna talk about. It's got some injury concerns. It's gonna affect our picks. So we're gonna go with the Browns at the Steelers.
Steelers at Browns or Browns at Steelers?
It's the Browns. No, it's the Steelers at Brown. What do I got up there? I got
you got it right on the screen.
Yeah.
It's right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's the Steelers at the Cleveland Browns. Normally I would pick on this game, especially playing in Cleveland. People might not know that them teams ain't but like 80 miles apart from each other. But that's a rivalry, man. It's been for the longest, man. They just do not like each other, right? So, I would pick the Cleveland Browns because their defense is just so nasty. Pittsburgh Steelers defense is almost equally as nasty. But the quarterbacking is going to make a difference in this one because we found out last week Deshaun Watson had some sort of broken bone in his throwing shoulder. We don't know if it's a situation where, his shoulder wasn't right before and he missed some games. Did they rush him back? Did he make them rush him back? But he's out for the season. So the Cleveland Browns are going with Dorian Thompson-Robinson, a rookie from UCLA. Looked good in the preseason, didn't look good in the early season. Looked good in training camp, didn't look good in preseason. I'll get it right here in a minute. And which is troubling about the Cleveland Browns situation is that early in the preseason, they had Josh Dobbs on the roster. Love to have that dude right about now.
Absolutely.
Love to have that dude right about now in there. You can just plug him right on in. Oh, that being said, man, if the injuries didn't play a part, I would pick Cleveland. So with the injuries being there, being what they are, you're going with Dorian Thompson-Robinson. I feel like I believe that DeJuan Jones is out for this game at right tackle, so I believe that T.J. Watt's going to eat.
Mm-hmm. That's not good.
Yeah, DeJuan Jones is a real deal. He'll deal now. He'll do now. And I'm gonna make sure I'm looking at this thing right now. If he's out, I'm looking at the injury report. Obviously, Deshaun Watson is out. Yeah, DeJuan Jones. Oh, he's questionable. He hadn't practiced all week. I've been hearing that. The only ones that are out is going to be Deshaun Watson, Marquise Goodwin, and Juan Thornhill. He's a safety. Everybody else is questionable. I guess I got to go with Pittsburgh. I just feel like they're going to make that kid's life a living HE double hockey sticks. So I'm going to go with Pittsburgh to win this one in Cleveland. But if Deshaun Watson was playing, Cleveland's defense is just good enough that the quarterback and don't have to be pristine. And Deshaun Watson was kind of rounded into shape, and then this happened. So I got Pittsburgh, man.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. Pittsburgh. I can't. I love the Cleveland defense, but I can't pick, Cleveland knowing that they're starting to rook. Right tackle might be out, which means, oh boy, even if he was in the game, that's how good T.J. Watt is. But
yeah.
I mean, between T.J. Watt and Myles Garrett, that the price of admission is already there just to watch them dominate the line of scrimmage. So it's gonna be be what you expect from this type of game. We're gonna get exactly what we expect. Smash mouth.
Yeah.
And I lean Pittsburgh just for obvious reasons that you already stated. So yeah.
Yeah. Here's an interesting tidbit. We're gonna go on to the next game, and I don't know if the Vegas lines come out. Like when Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, whatever the case might be. They got Cleveland installed as a 2-point favorite. I got the point spread up here on the crawl. Cleveland's favored by 2 points. Yeah, I don't know what they seeing, man. I don't know. I don't know about that one. But we both got Pittsburgh, and we'll see how this thing go, man. But back in the day, they used to call this the black and blue division. So it's gonna be a lot of black and blue, and that a lot of visits to the cold tub after this game. So a lot of hitting. He's talking about Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett I ain't never seen a dude jump over the line of scrimmage and block something. I mean, literally jump over the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Bad dude. And TJ Watt just as bad dude too. That's just bad. Just two bad dudes, man. So we're gonna see. Like you said, worth the price of admission. So we're gonna go on to the next game here. So our next game is going to be the this is a tasty one right here, and it's going to determine where these two teams is going. You got the Arizona Cardinals at the Houston Texans, man.
I like that game too.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting game at 12 o'clock right there, man. So you got Arizona coming in, getting that and I got this one right. This is one I got right over you last week. You picked the Falcons because that's kind of the smart pick because the Falcons, are the kind of the veteran team, sort of, kind of, and Cardinals kind of, you got Kyler Murray coming back. He ain't played in over a year. So, what we got here? So Kyler Murray was Kyler Murray. Made plays, got outside the pocket, made some throws. Being the little troublemaker he always be out there, man. The defensive coordinator's nightmare. Can't get your hands on that dude. It's almost like he got grease on his jersey. You can't get a hand on him, right? So he did what he did. Made it because Connor was back too. Man, this is a tough one to pick because the Houston Texans, man, are kind of like got the world kind of like scratching their head, and the coaching job DeMeco Ryans is doing. The offensive coordinating that Bobby Slovic is doing, and putting the game plans together, and then the execution that CJ Stroud is putting it together. And I was talking last week, man. He hands down rookie of the year, and he in the conversation for MVP for no other reason. I said, shit, he almost made Noah Brown in the NFL Player of the Week last week. And what did they do as an encore? Noah Brown goes out and have a seven catch, 172-yard game. Noah Brown? Hey, Noah Brown. I'm like, wow. Noah Brown had back-to-back 150 plus yard receiving games. He was a leading receiver last week, on that roster. So I did all that talking. Maybe I'm doing that so I can make my pick. I'm gonna take Houston. I'm shakily taking this pick, and sometimes we take young teams do funny things when expectations are put on them. What's the line? The line is, let's see here. What's the line? What is the line? I got it on here. Yeah, here we go. What's the line? The line is, that's the 3 o'clock games. I'm waiting for the thing to come back around. Yeah, here we go. The line is, I think, Houston by 6. And it just be funny, man, when young teams, when it's fun, it's interesting when ain't nobody expected nothing from you. You just kind of like you playing with house money, but then like when expectations get put on you, it's totally different things. So I'm kind of shakily picking the Houston Texans, and they're playing well. Uh, the Kyler Murray effect, man, makes me almost give me pause and say I want to pick the Cardinals, but I'm gonna take Houston. Houston, don't make me, don't make me, feel like I'm, that I shouldn't have made that pick. But I'm gonna go with the Houston Texans, man. They're just playing well. They're playing well, and I just think as the time goes on, the running game is gonna get better, and I think the defense is gonna get better because you got, D'Amico Ryan's calling the defense. So at some point, the defense is gonna start playing a little bit better too. So I think Houston's a good team, man. They're a good team. So I got Houston.
Yeah, I got Houston as well. Shout out to Kyler Murray. He came back last week and he was looking like Kyler Murray. I enjoyed that. This game is definitely on my list for this week. For that reason, alongside the fact that man, Houston is popping, man. The ball's moving around. They're getting a lot of guys involved. They just have a great plan of action, and
Mm-hmm.
so far this season they're making do on it and they're delivering. I love what they got going on down there so far. Um, I think they have a big get over the hump game coming up next week that could determine their division. So this probably isn't the type of game you want to lose. So they're going to be a legitimate team. I think next week will be the measure, but this week is hey, beat the team you're supposed to beat type of week, and then go in the next week with Jacksonville knowing that game has a lot of stakes to it. So I think if Houston's going to be up to the task this year, winning this game tomorrow is important. So I think they do it. I'm with you. I just love what Stroud got going on, but I like that Kyler Murray's back to make this game exciting. So I expect an exciting game, but I'll take Houston. Just love the momentum they got right now. So Houston.
All right. So we're both in agreement with Houston, but like I said, Kyler Murray just adds a whole nother dimension to this game. And I'm guaranteeing you right now, even right now, D'Amico Ryan's is sitting up right there. Dang, how we get a hand on this dude? How we get a hand on this dude? 'Cause he is a defensive coach's nightmare because it's like you can cover everything well, but then that dude is like so elusive, and you can't cover dudes for 7 and 8 seconds. You just can't, you
And,
know.
and an underrated aspect of this game, Kyler Murray's a Texas boy. This
Yes, he
game is
is.
in Texas.
Yes, it is.
So
Yes, it is.
I expect him to want to give a good showing. I'd imagine he have a lot of family and friends present and or watching, and I think
Right,
he's going to put on the show. So I think we're gonna get a good game out of this.
right.
Still
That's a
Houston.
that's a good added point that you just made, man. That's why I got TK on the show, man. He always brings stuff I ain't think about, man. I ain't think about that. Yeah, he a Texas boy. Good
Yeah,
point, man. Good point. He gonna want to show out for the folks. He always show out when he plays the Cowboys because
oh,
he played in that stadium when they and he always I don't think he's ever lost in that stadium. I think they say he's never lost in that stadium. He's been
yeah.
high school and whatever, and college, whatever he played, because he. I think he may have played a game or two when he played it because he was at Texas A&M before he went to Oklahoma. So
Mhm.
and stuff. So, but I say he's never lost in that stadium. But yeah, Houston's just down the road, a little piece in the south of Dallas and Texas. So yeah, that's a good point, man. He's gonna want to. So that game's gonna be an exciting game. That's why I said, man, that's a game. It's low key, but that's gonna be an exciting game because you look at the Cardinals. And they're like, oh, they're only 2-8. Yeah, man, but they got number one and Connor and Hollywood Brown and got hey that's not gonna be a game that. So we both got Houston, so we see what goes on with that, and we'll just move on to the next game. But that's going to be one of the more exciting games at the 12 o'clock hour, right? Now to one of the I hate to call this game a snoozer because I kind of been sort of slow key on their bandwagon a little bit over the last couple of years. Because look, man, the team is close proximity to me, so I kind of you know, always looking out the corner to see what they doing. When I'm not looking at what my Cowboys are doing or whatever, I'm seeing what they're doing. So we got the the Tennessee Titans traveling down to Duval to play the Jacksonville Jaguars. And this is a game where, that's another game I missed last week because I had the Titans beating the Buccaneers, and Mike Evans. Remember, he's Mike Evans, right? So, and they lost, and so the Titans are coming off of like two losses, back-to-back losses, the Steelers and to the Buccaneers. After beating the Falcons, and you start thinking that they starting to kind of like put some stuff together. They got the quarterback, and that who I believe is going to be their quarterback. Will Levens. I think he's going to be their guy. I think he showed enough that he's going to be that guy. But they're playing a Jacksonville team that just got their rear ends handed to them last week by the 49ers. What was it, 34-3?
Yep.
Dang, all they was able to give was a field goal. All right. And it always stings when you get beat like that in front of the home folk.
Yeah.
All right. And a lot of times when you get beat like that, you just can't wait to get back on the field. If you could play the next day, you would play, because we can't let that be a representation of what we have built this season. I think that the Jaguars have but prior to Sunday, had put together an impressive resume this season. And I had said that, that's why this thing changes every week, based on injury and how people play and things like that. I had said that behind Baltimore and Cincy, there were another team I wouldn't want to play right now was Jacksonville. And remember, I had some trepidation on picking the 49ers in them. I waffled. If you go back to the tape, I waffled. I had picked Jacksonville at first, and I was like, nah, 49ers ain't losing 4 games in a row. But I had no idea they was gonna get their doors just kicked in like that, right? So I look for the Jaguars to bounce back. I hate to see it because the Titans are the team I kind of like, come on, guys, let's get one. And I just don't think they got it in them to do that this week, against a Jaguar team that's like, look, man, we got a chance to still win this division because Houston is coming. And we can't lose any games, to make, because there's a couple of weeks we're going to be playing them. And that game will be for all the marbles if we don't, because they've already beaten us once. Right? So I got Jacksonville, man. I know you're not going to have nearly as much to say about this game as I do, but I got Jacksonville and Duval beating the Titans. And I'll look at the injury report as you give it your part.
Jacksonville's the pick here. The rest of this season for the Titans is now clear and apparent, which is what most Titans fans wanted. It's just time to evaluate Will Levis at this point. Just see what you have. And losing is going to come with that, as far as games go. But his progression, his experience, all of that matters. I will say, at least on the Titans side, you never know. Derrick Henry loves to run through the Jaguars, so you never know if he's got a vintage Derrick Henry performance in him. But even if he does, and he does well, I just think for Jacksonville, coming off what they're coming off of and knowing what's ahead, you can't lose this game. So I think all the pressure's on Jacksonville, and they have to step up to it and respond well. It's a division game. They got to win it. So I just think they're going to do it because the Titans are going the other way. So, yeah.
So you got Jacksonville. All right. You just made a point. That's like I said, that's why I got you on this show, man. Because you always bring little tidbits. Derrick Henry loved to play against the Jaguars.
Yes,
he had some freaking colossal games.
Yeah.
I mean, like 90-something yard runs against the Jaguars. Now that was your granddaddy's Jaguar when they were 4-12 every season and picking, having the type of season that would allow you to pick a Trevor Lawrence, or an Etienne to pick them kind of guys, or Trevon Walker. You could pick them guys because you sucking, right?
Yeah.
So that's a whole different world now. But that's a low key moment, man. Maybe he looks at them like, licks his chops when he sees them. So that may be something. If you see a Derrick Henry 140-yard game, Remember, TK picked that out, man. I didn't even think about that, but that's a for real thing. So
Yeah.
no notable injuries on the injury report other than Zay Jones. Zay Jones actually out for some other things. He got some personal things he's going. I'm not going to speak on them here. Um, but he questionable, and they got no real notable injuries on the Titans of anybody of note. So should be a clean game, and that when we know injuries always play a part, often plays a part in how games are won and lost and stuff like that. So don't see no serious injuries in that. So we're just going to the next game. We both got the Jaguars. Now we move on to an interesting game, not in terms of it's going to be a great game, but these two teams kind of have a history, playoff history, and things of that nature, and they just sort of like got sort of like cult followings or whatever. But we got the Las Vegas Raiders traveling to Miami to take on the Dolphins, and so the Raiders got sort of a weird thing going on. We got an interim coach, Antonio Pierce. I can't think what the brother's name is. He's the acting GM, and then they got the president of football operations. Actually, a young black woman. It's kind of interesting. They got an interesting dynamic of inclusion there that Mark Davis has put together. He's always been like a guy. He's one of the first NFL coaches to hire a black coach when Art Shell, when nobody else was doing that. And so they've always done it first to put women on the staff, whatever you think of that or whatever. He's first to do that kind of thing. So he's always been a little ahead of the curve on that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So you got that going on, and and you're playing the Dolphins, and of course the Dolphins coming off a loss, and they had a week off. I think that may have been the other team that was off this week, the Dolphins. I think I was trying to figure out who the other team was. I think the Dolphins was that other team. I think they didn't play last week.
They did.
And they had a week off after they going to Frankfurt and getting beat. It actually wasn't that bad of a game, but it wasn't a good game to watch. It just wasn't, But I got the Dolphins. But the Raiders are an interesting team because I feel like that the Raiders, if they wanted to, they could just line up and just hand the ball to Jacobs and get 4, 3, 4, 5, 7, 6, 5, 3 yards of carry and keep that explosive Dolphins offense off the field. Kind of do how Philly did. I'm not comparing the Raiders to the Eagles under no stretch of the imagination, but I'm just saying Jacobs is a back that can do that if they can get good blocking. He can get you 3, 4, 5 yards a pop and keep the chains moving and keep Tua and that explosive offense sitting on the sidelines holding on to the clipboard, right? You could do that. I just don't think that they'll do that. I think they'll think that, hey, we got, Devontae Adams out there, and they got, of course, now he's going to have either Jalen Ramsey or what's the other kid, number 25? What's the other kid's name? Xavier Howard covering him. Right, so that's kind of worth the price of admission right there too. Having them two guys kind of go up against each other, right? So, but I got the Dolphins, but that might be an interesting game, man, because the Raiders always do wacky stuff, man. There always be something on there that you don't expect. So, but I got the Dolphins. I just think, man, that even if they only got the ball for 19 or 20 minutes, I think Tua, Tyreek, Jalen, A-Chain, Mostert. I just think it's too much speed, and I just think the Dolphins will win.
You know me, man. You know I love a reason to pick the Raiders, but not this week. Not this week. A-Chain, you just referenced him. He's actually back off of IR. Mm-hmm. So that's a major piece of that speed element of that offense that returns. And I just think, man, the type of they're coming off a bye, they're rounding out and getting healthy. Mm-hmm. They got a home game, and this is a track meet type of game for the Dolphins, man. So I just think they overwhelmed with their speed. And A-Chain has a real effect on the game, opens up stuff for Tyreek and Waddle, and that Miami offense is going to be, licking their chops and itching to, make a statement and show we still here, we're still capable of doing what we do at our best, and this is going to be the game that, hopefully for them gives them a jump start towards getting back to that identity. So hopefully the Raiders can make it fun, make it wacky, do some Raider stuff. It's definitely a game I'm tuning in. Right, yeah. Too much speed, man. Too much speed on the other side.
Yeah, I'm totally with you on that, man. Totally with you on that. I mean, I think the Raiders make it interesting, but I just can't see the Dolphins just have way too much speed, and like I said, they had a week off, and I know McDaniel done worked on some things. They're getting some guys back, and that week off is not having that extra week of preparation, extra week to get guys healthy, a week to get guys rest that need to be rest. That never can be undersold, man. Never can be undersold. And so I got the Dolphins winning that game. Right. All right. Now, speaking of guys coming back, we got the next probably not a great game, but might be interesting to watch. You got the Chicago Bears, you got the Detroit Lions, and like I always say, man, we got to start maybe going live on our pregame, because our pregame sometimes is exciting. We go into certain things, we say certain things that we don't put on, for public consumption. But one of the things we talked about was the deal that the Chicago Bears kind of got going, because we do know that they may fleece the Carolina Panthers out of their first round pick in order for them to get Bryce Young this year. So, and we look at the Carolina Panthers having the worst record in the league this year. So it's very conceivable that the Bears could get the first and the second, or the first and the third pick in next year's draft. So it would behoove them not to win too many games this year to keep themselves in prime picking position. Now, having said that, one Justin Fields, I think, comes back this week to play. Exit Tyson Bagent of change. That guy, that's like messing with that dude. Anyway, he goes back to the bench. And so you got Justin Fields, and it's almost like you got two opposite objectives going here, because it's become apparent to me and any others that's paying attention that, and it's my belief that the Bears are kind of sort of done with Justin Fields, right, wrong, or indifferent. I think maybe they've not used him as well as his skill set would have led itself. And then maybe not as progressed as well as they thought. Maybe they have not put an offense in front of him that would have allowed him to do as well as he, whatever the case might be. I think they may be looking to move him. And so Justin was looking to put some good tape on the field, on the field. And the Bears may not be as interested as putting good tape on the field. See, because they're trying to lose. So they may put just enough out there for him to play decent but lose. And, so I'm saying all that just to say I'm going with the Lions.
Yeah. I figured that. Yeah.
A lot of smoke and mirrors, and I'm just doing a handoff up the middle. I'm doing a lot of motion and stuff. Just a simple handoff up the middle. I ain't doing no extra. Did all that talking. Yeah, I'm going Lions.
Yeah, man, I echo a lot of that. Regardless of if the organization is playing, saboteur to Justin Fields, I don't expect him to sabotage his own career.
No.
I expect him to, come out and compete. Unfortunately for him, but fortunately for the organization, I guess, they're going to lose this game to the Lions regardless. So, sabotage or not.
Right.
Shout out to Justin Fields though, he's back. So hopefully he can, put the last 7, 8 games together and put some good tape out there and prepare for his next stop if that's where they choose to go. And brighter days ahead. I would hope for him because I think he's a talented dude. But they're not beating the Lions no matter what. So yeah, Lions all day.
Lions all day. And we talked about this, and like I said in the pre videos, like we could conceivably see the Bears. What are they? They're 3-7. I mean, I could see them going 4-13 and getting the third pick, second pick from their own picks, and getting the first pick from the Carolina Panthers, and like we talked about this, maybe telling the Falcons, hey man, give us a second round pick and maybe a player, and we can give you Justin Fields, and they would have conceivably like the first pick, third pick, and maybe like pick 35 of the second round, and maybe a player or two. I mean, if they play their cards right, they could parlay that into a nice haul, right?
For sure.
But you know what though, TK? You could give a man $1 million. That don't mean they know what to do with it.
Well, that's a fact.
Okay?
Yeah.
So it's not long as you can hit the lottery if you like. You can hit the lottery. That don't mean in 6 months or a year you might not still be broke because you didn't know what to do with it. So not speaking that in. I'm just saying, I'm just putting that out there as food for thought to think about. Okay? Because you get a lot don't mean you know how to maintain a lot. All right. We both got the lines on that pick, so we go to the next pick. We're going to the Los Angeles Chargers at the Green Bay Packers. I ain't got a whole lot to say about this game here. I had kind of sort of been looking for the Chargers. I mean the Packers to start playing a little bit better. They played okay against the Steelers last week. Not able to come away with the win. I think it was like 23-19, something like that. They gave up a lot of yards on the ground. They like 130 yards or something 40 yards or something on the ground to a team that the Steelers hadn't been running the ball that well prior to that.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
Is Jair Alexander in?
I'm looking at the injury report now. I'm trying to see. I don't see him on the injury report, so I'll look for him to play. The injury report lists Quay Walker as questionable. Rudy Ford, the safety, is doubtful. Ooh, Rashawn Gary is questionable. That sucks right there. Rashawn Gary is a dog, man. Jair Alexander is questionable. Questionable means there's a 75% chance you'll play.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that how the thing broke down?
Yeah. I'm real hesitant on picking the Chargers, but I just think I can't confidently pick the Packers. So it's one of them games, man. I'm picking the Chargers, but the Chargers could easily find a way to F this up. So
no. Let me add just a little tidbit in here. You got a situation here where, in my opinion, now I don't know what my opinion is worth. It might be worth what you pay for a cup of coffee, not Starbucks, just a cup of coffee from the your convenience store, was like probably 45 cents or $1 or whatever. So, it ain't like a $8 cup of coffee you get from Starbucks. So I feel like a guy like Brandon Staley is coaching for his job.
Yeah, for sure.
They let one get away versus the Lions last week. That's a game they were very competitive in. They very easily could have won that game. That they played a good game in that game. It's just and the lines were just aggressive. They went for a lot of fourth downs. They did a lot of things, and it took that to hold off the Chargers. So I'm thinking a guy like Brandon Staley is going, he's like, man, if we don't at least sniff the playoff this year, man, I'm going to be, looking, I'm going to be a DC somewhere next year. I ain't going to be a head coach here. So you never kind of want to like undersell the value of being desperate. Knowing that if I don't do this, man, so and I think my man, what's the coach of the Packers? I think he's pretty secure. What is his name? Mike LaFleur. Mike LaFleur. I think he is pretty secure, and they know they got a young quarterback. That they got to groom, they got to get him ready. They got young receivers. In other words, they got a little bit of longer landing strip to land on. Okay, than a Brandon Staley who's got a quarterback they just paid a grip of money to DK, right? And yeah, we kind of got to get this. We got to get this right. So that's why I'm picking the Chargers to win this game. So situations would have been different. I might would pick the Packers because it ain't easy to win in Green Bay in November. It's just not. But I got the Chargers winning that one, and for the reasons I just aforementioned, and plus I think they're playing better right now. I just think they are. So, all right. So now we go to somebody got to win. Somebody got to win this game, right? They both can't lose it. I wish they both could lose it.
Oh, I know what game this is. Fred, I have no commentary. Commanders, and that's it. I don't got no commentary for this
one. How you know what game this is, man?
I sniffed that out pretty fast.
What game do you think it is?
Commanders, and that's all I got for
it. Dang. Okay. Yeah, you got the New York Giants at the Washington Commandos. Sorry, my bad.
That's actually, I would like that name better. To be honest.
Commandos, yeah.
Like I think they could market that.
I mean, commando has somebody that's going into battle, but it also has a connotation that you're walking around without your drawers on. So it could be a couple of things. Oh boy, the Washington Commodes. You can say that too. I don't like that franchise.
Yeah.
Washington Commodes, man.
You're right. Opens up to a lot of
jokes. All right, man. You got the New York Football Giants going into FedEx Field. I think that's what it's being called now. To Josh Allen. What is his name? Not Josh Allen. Josh Harris decides to do something different, and the name's gonna have a change too. They're gonna change the name too. So I don't know what they're gonna do with that. But the Giants, who might be right now the worst team in the NFL, due to injury and some other things, some trades and things that have been made and stuff like that, into some ineptitude. The Giants might be the worst team in the NFL. They're starting Tommy DeVito at quarterback. I feel for Saquon Barkley. He's back there just doing his darndest, knowing he's on a 1-year deal. You got guys like Evan Neal that can't block. You got guys that like Andrew Thomas that plays the first game or two and is out like 5 games. I think he came back last week, got hurt again. On defense, they trade away Leonard Williams. I mean, it's just a lot. Daniel Jones is an ACL. I mean, you got a lot of things going on with that team, man. It's just, I'm not saying I'm crying a river for them either. Y'all can go 0-17 for all I care, right? I'm sorry, man. I don't care for them teams in our division. I don't care for them boys. I don't care for them. And the Commandos, Commodes, whatever you want to call them, probably looking to get some good back. And low key, the Commandos really not playing that bad of football. They're really not. They played Seattle pretty close last week. Could have won that game. All right. Sam Howell is playing well. They got weapons. Han Dotson. You got Scary Terry McLaurin, Logan Thomas. They got some players. Brian Robinson. They got players. It's not like they going in there and Sam Howell low key having a good season. The tail of the tape just says he holds the ball too long. That dude done threw for like that dude. Am I reading this right? Dude almost threw for almost 3,000 yards already, like 2,700 yards, and 17 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. So it's not like he's playing bad, but he's done took like 35 sacks though. That's the thing. That's McLaurin got 51 catches. I got the Commanders, man. The Giants shocked them about a month ago up in MetLife Stadium when nobody was picking the Giants. Giants had one win up until then, and that's their second win, I think, in beating the Cardinals. So they got 2 wins. They 2-7, 2-8, 2-8. After taking that almost 50-point beat down to my Cowboys on Sunday. But, I had to throw that plug in there. I got the Commanders trying to get some good back and trying to tune up for the game on Thanksgiving. So I got the Commanders after all that soliloquy that I put down, I guess.
Yeah.
Who you picking?
Not the Giants.
Not the Giants. Ever again. Yeah. Yeah. They're not good. They're not good, man. They're just not. All right. So, all right. I think that concludes our tour. Where's my head? I'm sorry. There is one more game at the 12 o'clock slot. I think we got to cover that one before we get to the 3 o'clock games. And I always put it last so I can, maybe, kind of, do what I do or whatever. But you got the Dallas Cowboys traveling out to Bank of America Field in Charlotte, North Carolina to take on the Carolina Panthers. Cowboys fresh off of that 49-17 beatdown of the New York Football, the aforementioned New York Football Giants. And I did a video the other night. I was actually sort of perturbed with a 49-17 win. I'm going to tell you why. The game was such a statistical beatdown that the score really was closer than it should have been. What do you mean, Uncle Fred? Well, at halftime, you'd be crazy to find out the Giants only had 1 first down and 27 yards at the half.
Yeah.
Cowboys had about 20 first downs and like 279 yards at halftime. So to me, it should have been 35 to 40, 30-something to nothing instead of just 28-0. You just scored right before halftime and made it 28-0. The team got 1 first down. Okay? You got like 20 first downs in the first half and almost 300 yards of offense in the first half. How you only just got 28 points? And I know that sounds like, man, they're 28 points. Yeah, because they got stopped at the goal line, but they let the Giants goal line stand you, and then Dak threw a pick on a possession that really took 2 possessions away they should have scored points on. So you like, oh man, we're only 4 scores down, but we ain't got but 1 first down. We got 27 yards. So I'm saying against a good team, you got to make your drives count. You can't give away possessions. You can't, And I was like, yeah, you belly aching, man. Y'all beat that team like they stole something. You belly aching. You getting on your son for getting a 97 on the test. I just feel like when you're playing a team that's overmatched, you should just wipe them off the set. And that's all I'm saying. Against good teams, and they had like 9 penalties for 83 yards too. Against a good team, that'll get you beat. That's all I'm saying. That'll get you beat. You got to put forth good habits because you're not playing that opponent. You're playing yourself. You got a standard. You got to play to the standard. That's what I'm saying. And that's all I'll say. You play to your standard. Don't play the scoreboard. You don't play that opponent. You play to a standard. And so they're playing the Carolina Panthers, which might be an even worse team, maybe. But I think they got a better quarterback. And I think they got better. I got a better receiver, but I don't think they got better than nothing else. But I got the Cowboys winning. They're favored by 10.5, which is almost unheard of on the road until we see this 49ers game. We'll see that's another one, where, but they're playing at home, though. You hardly ever see a road double-digit, deficit. That just tells you the dearth of both of these teams or whatever work position they play in the scheme landscape of the league. So I got the Cowboys, but sometimes I think Cowboys do cowboy things and make it, like I said last week, make it closer than it should have been. And they didn't do that last week, but I still think they probably could have did more damage than they could have done last week. But I got the Cowboys, man, and I think they go to 7-3.
Yeah, that's it. It's the Cowboys. Sound like a whole lot of good team problems, first world problems. You talking
First
about
world problems is right.
but,
It's right.
Man, this won't be, we'll be close. This will definitely turn into coverage for another more exciting game.
Right. Right. Which they did last week. They didn't cheated me out of my last couple of wins, man. Yeah. We're changing the broadcast to a more competitive game. So I missed 2 minutes warning in the last game, and I missed the whole fourth quarter when they beat the Rams. I missed the whole fourth quarter and whatnot. So whatever, man.
Happen again tomorrow.
Now, one positive thing that came out of the beatdown of the Giants, Brandon Cooks got on track, had 9 catches for 173 yards and a touchdown, which I thought was complete misappropriation of resources for him to go into that game with like 16, 17 catches for like 100 and something yards into week 8 is a miscarriage of justice for a dude with that much talent to only have like 16 catches.
Say that again. What was it?
What?
What was that line?
Miscarriage of justice?
That's funny.
Miscarriage of justice, man.
Yeah.
That dude had 1,000-yard season for every team he's played for, and he coming to the Cowboys, who's probably, I'm not saying the best team he's played for because he didn't play for the Patriots, but Tom Brady. He didn't play for the Saints with Drew Brees. But he also played for the Houston Texans when they had somebody other than Deshaun Watson, and he got 1,000 yards, right? You come to the Cowboys with got, good quarterback, good stuff going, and they can't seem to find a way to get him the football. He had against the Eagles, he had 1 catch for 7 yards. What are we doing here? So they got him on track. They stopped using Tony Pollard in ways they weren't supposed to be using him because he's not an every down back. You can't use him in between the tackles on 8 out of every 10 runs. What you got Rico Dowdle for, so you gave him 12 carries for like 80 yards and a touchdown. So maybe you unlock some things that you can use going forward. So that's my Cowboys public service announcement. So more Brandon Cooks, get that boy more targets, more catches, because the kid still runs a 4.3, 4.40. There's no reason for him to be running 5-yard dig routes and getting smacked by the safety. When he can run by everybody on the defense. No reason for that. Anyway, we're moving on to the next. Okay. 3 o'clock. Yeah, I get my sandbox rants for the Cowboys and for stuff that they're doing and whatnot. So, all right, for the 3 o'clock games. First one we got gonna be a snoozer. Really much not to talk about here. You got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going into Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, Florida. Santa Clara, California, to take on the San Francisco 49ers. San Francisco is favored by 12 points. Not really much to talk about. Baker, I hope you eating your Wheaties. Hope you got your appointment for that cold tub after the game. Because Young and Chase Young and Nick Bosa is coming, man. They coming. I look for him getting up off the turf every other throw. May not be sacked, but he's gonna be rushed on a lot of throws, right? And I look for the 49. I'm gonna look at the injury report, make sure it's ain't nobody really hurt that's significant. For the Bucks, Carlton Davis is questionable. Devin White is questionable. That means it's probable they're gonna play. The 49er side, really nobody's listed on the injury report that are any of notes. I mean, Trent Williams is going to play. That means Deebo Samuels is going to play. That means McCaffrey is going to play, which he's been playing. That means he's not on the injury report. I mean, he's be close to 100% you're going to be at week 11. I just can't see how the 49. I don't see how the Buccaneers keep this thing under 3 touchdowns. So I got the 49ers, man. At home too. I got the 49ers, man.
Oh yeah, this one will get dark.
Yeah, sound like one of them Jerry Glanville things. Though it get dark early.
That's this.
It gets dark early. That's what it means on that. It get dark early. That game gonna be out of whack before first quarter, second quarter. It's gonna be it's over and done with, man. It's over and done with.
No mas, Baker. No good luck.
Somebody's gonna be throwing a freaking white flag from the sideline. No mas, man. No mas. No mas, man. No more. No more. No more. I don't want no more. We both got the 49ers, man. Not gonna be competitive at all, But we do know that's why they play the games. The games you never think would be competitive would come down to a field goal. Man, how the heck that team do that? But I don't think that's gonna be this one.
Not at all.
All right, next got the New York Football Jets at the Buffalo Bills. Man, you talking about a team that's going to need to circle the wagons. I know Chris Berman used to always talk about nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. They better need to circle them wagons right about now because they done lost 2 straight games, I think. Isn't it 2 straight? Yeah. Because I know they lost to Tennessee just scored first. Oh, I'm sorry. My Alabama stuff came out. Sorry. Yeah. What was I talking about? Yeah. Who they lose to before they lost to the Broncos? Somebody lost to. Was it Cincinnati? It was Cincinnati on Sunday night, and then they lost on Monday night to the Denver Broncos. Now, they felt like that they had no choice but to fire Ken Dorsey. I guess somebody had to pay the price for a team that a lot of people had picked as Super Bowl preseason favorites in the AFC to now be looking like, looking at the playoff pictures from the outside as they dropped to 5-5. Somebody got to pay for that. But as I watched that game, yes, Josh Allen didn't play one of his best games. He threw an interception early in that game, and there's some other plays in there. But man, you lost the game because the defensive coordinator called a freaking zero blitz on back-to-back plays, not considering that a veteran quarterback will adjust. You're not playing a rookie quarterback. Whatever you think of Russell Wilson, he is a vet and them, has won a Super Bowl. He's not exactly Tommy DeVito here, right? You caught him on one play and he took a sack he shouldn't have took, and you called the exact same defense. And he's like, oh, shoot, I'm just going to hang that thing up to Jerry Jeudy. And then your cornerback got beat and had to flail and ran into the guy. I mean, there's a lot of things going on there because the pass was short. I kind of don't like them calling pass interference when a pass was 5 yards short and the guy just, I don't really like that. But the guy did kind of like run into him and you kind of got to call that. And then you got him to miss the field goal, and then you didn't get your guys off the field. So it's a special teams and a defensive breakdown. But Ken Dorsey got a pink slip. Don't know, man. Don't know.
I mean, coaches know how the coaching cycle goes. You know, they know that
Yeah.
somebody got to get scapegoated. So
My guy gets scapegoated. Ken Dorsey will get another job. He might not be an offensive coordinator. He'll be a quarterback coach, and he'll build himself back up. That dude obviously has been in the system and knows what the heck he's doing. He didn't get that way. Nobody didn't just hand him that job. He'll get a job. But, somebody had to pay for that, and I guess it had to be him. So, but anyway, we looking at this game, the Jets. I mean, the Jets defense is like lights out, man. Good night. They play good defense, man. But they just can't get enough offensively to just make it work. So, I mean, I done picked the Bills last 2 weeks. No, I didn't pick them against the Cincinnati Bengals. I didn't pick them against Cincinnati, but I did pick them against the Broncos, and I got an egg on my face. They're playing in Orchard Park. I just can't see them losing back-to-back games in Orchard Park, man. The Bills Mafia would have them drawn and quartered. I got the Bills, man, but the Jets, man, yeah, I see them coaxing them into a couple of turnovers here, and I don't like the outside people agitating the Bills situation, man. And I'm talking about our own guy. I'm not getting into that. Get out of their business, man. Get out of the Bills business, man. Worry about your own rehab. Leave them folks alone. I got the Bills, man.
this is as close as a must-win for the Bills as can get. Can't get swept by the Jets. Yeah. Can't get swept by the Jets, and everything for the next couple of weeks after that may put them behind it anyway. So
yeah,
they gotta have this one. That said, the Jets are going to be turned up defensively.
Mm-hmm.
They see, just like sharks, sense blood in the water. It's like defense sees an opportunity here. So Josh Allen gonna get their best shot. They're gonna do their best to turn him over and give Zach Wilson short fields, and that'll be to them their pathway to winning this game. We can just turn Josh Allen over and give our quarterback short fields to work with. Maybe we can get out of here with a win. I think it's gonna be a great strategy. I'm with you. Like y'all gotta have it. Like you gotta have this game. If anything about your season is going to be serious going forward, you can't lose this one because if you've been looking at their schedule, you know what they got ahead. So this is the one you got to have. Josh, pick yourself up, get it together, man, and the whole Bills team just rally around your quarterback and go get it done at home, man, and just understand what lies ahead. So I can't pick against them, especially knowing
what's his state.
It's just a state of emergency.
Yeah,
the desperation has to bubble to the top. So I'm going Buffalo as well.
Yeah. And what you said, we're gonna go on to the next game. I'm not gonna spend a whole lot of time. We're gonna get to the next game, but then you basically gave the path of victory for the Jets is that they get in there, they stuff the run, make Josh Allen turn the ball over, give him some short fields because the Jets are not gonna beat you going 9 plays, 75 yards. They're just not. They're not beating you with that. They're not gonna be. Now, if they had Aaron Rodgers, they could give you that all day long.
Oh yeah.
Okay. That'd be probably their way of beating you. They would just ball control you. Every now and then he'll get deep, get my man Wilson on a 50-yarder here or there. But he's smart enough to take what the defense is giving you. And see, Zach Wilson has not graduated to that level yet where he can just take what the defense gives him and not to take a sack when it's not time to take one. Not where it's never a good time to take one, but at certain times on the field, you can't take a sack. Okay. It's just he just has not graduated to that point yet. And it's just certain times on the field was like, man, do I try to thread the needle on this 20-yard dig, or do I, take this 5-yarder to Breece Hall that's in the flat and I can still get the first down and move the chains? See, and see, that's how you get 80-yard, 75-yard drives. And see, the Jets really, not able to do that. So only way they can beat the Bills if Josh Allen turns the ball over a couple times and they get 30 and 40-yard fields and they can do some stuff. And I just don't think they're gonna do that. And that's why I'm picking the Bills and stuff. So we both got the Bills, and we'll see what the Jets. But I do know this: they lose this game and they miss the playoffs. I know that sound bite that at the end of the season is going to be, if you get up to go to work today, your name probably not going to be Sean McDermott. So it's a tough business, man. It's a tough business. It's a results-oriented business, and the results ain't there, and the expectations are here, and the results are here. Somebody's got to pay the price for that. That's all this. That's all there is to it. All right, our second 3 o'clock game is the Seahawks at the Rams. We talked about the Rams a little bit in the pre-show. Rams are kind of intriguing because I think they got just enough talent to be good, not enough, and enough moxie not to be bad. A team that's got Cooper Kupp and Matt Stafford. How bad can they be if the offensive line just gives them just a little bit? What's interesting about this game is the Rams went to Quest Field and beat them earlier in the season. I don't know if it's called Quest Field no more, but in Seattle, they beat them early in the season. It's one of the games I missed because I'm like, oh yeah, Seattle's gonna smoke them. They trying to tank anyway, and the Rams won. And we know Matt Stafford's been in and out. He's got something going on with his elbow and stuff. Is coming in and out. If Matt Stafford gets pass protection and he's got as good a set of receivers as anybody got in the NFL with Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, they could win this game. Okay, now, I'm not picking them, but at some point, man, the Rams might look at like, hey, Matt, and interestingly enough, they picked up Carson Wentz a week or two ago. So if he goes down, they're not going with Stetson Bennett at the fourth or whatever edition he is of that. They would go with Carson Wentz, but they could conceivably, play well enough to almost win, but not, and still get themselves a nice draft pick. And if they in the top 5, maybe parlay themselves into getting, maybe a quarterback, maybe getting, because we know I have a feeling Matt Stafford's not going to be playing a whole lot longer. He's got his Super Bowl. He done made his millions. Sometimes, you done already done made it. Do you need to, So I said all that. I got the Seahawks getting some get back. But man, I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams figure out a way to win that because they got the skill position players to do it. I just think Seattle's is too good for that to happen again. I got Seattle.
I got Seattle as well. To your points made, the Rams are still competitive. They're still it's a divisional game as well. So they're gonna give it a go and make it a fight, make Seattle earn it. But I think Seattle gets it done. So, yeah.
You know what's interesting about this game, TK? Rams are favored by a point. Now, that be making you think, there you go, the Vegas know something we don't know. Y'all know something? Rams are favored by a point, man, because they're at home. So, yeah, you get 3 points for being at home. So if it was in Seattle, would Seahawks be favored by 2 or 3? If they were in Seattle, or 4? So, yeah, Rams are favored. So, go figure. Go figure, man. Go figure. All right, on Sunday night, man, it's a kind of a tasty game, man. Kind of a tasty game. Maybe a week or two ago, you wouldn't have thought this is a good game. But as the season unfolds and things start to become more evident, players get hurt, players get acquired, and things of this nature, teams that were playing like booty early in the season start to hit their stride. You got the Minnesota Vikings going to Denver, playing the Denver Broncos. And I think this is a game that could sort of solidify where these teams kind of are in this season because you kind of thought the sky was falling when Kirk Cousins went down with Achilles injury. Prayers up for Kirk Cousins. Like I say, I hate to see players go down and stuff like that. We know this season, I mean, this week, man, a lot of first line players have gone down. Joe Burrow's gone down. Mark Andrews has gone down for the season. Deshaun Watson gone down for the season. Almost thought we was gonna have a Lamar Jackson going down. So the injuries are real, man. So I hate it when injuries happen and stuff like that because it changes the whole scope of what a team is planning for. It changes everything, right? So you thought that when Cousins went down, that's the season. Now you get Josh Dobbs. Okay, what Josh Dobbs gonna do? He don't know and then he comes and promptly win 2 games. All right, and then you get the Broncos, was hell they had 70 points hung on them in week 3. All right, they 0-3 and they got 70 hung on them. Right, but they didn't let the outside noise clog their thinking. They kept plugging away. They kept plugging away. They lost a couple of games they probably shouldn't have. They lost to the Jets. They probably shouldn't have. I think they lost to the Commanders. And I think they lost to the Commanders, I think, on a Hail Mary or something like that, or lost a field goal at the buzzer or something like that. But they kept plugging away, fooled around, and beat the Chiefs, which I have no idea how they beat the Chiefs by 15, but they did. Turned around and beat the Buffalo Bills last Monday night. And you look up and the Broncos are 4-5, feeling pretty good about themselves. You had players that was on the trading block. Cortland Sutton, obviously going to be traded. Jerry Jeudy, obviously going to be traded. And, Patrick Surtain, obviously going to be traded. And nobody did anything, and they just kept plugging away. And they find themselves 4-5. And you take the Vikings, they, down Kirk Cousins, they win 2-3 games. They've won like 4 straight games. They was 0-4. 0-5, but with 0-4 and won 5 straight. So, who wins Sunday? Who wins Sunday night? I don't know, but I think it's going to be an interesting game. I think we're going to see if the Vikings are serious about putting themselves in position to win to get because they could position themselves to only be 1 game behind the Lions if they continue to win. And it will, maybe make Justin Jefferson say, maybe I could come back and play for them because I'd be like, I ain't coming back and play for them.
So he's out for sure.
I'm gonna rehab this thing to the end of the season.
Justin Jefferson is out for sure.
I'm glad you brought that point up. That's why I got you on the show. Yeah, he's on IR. They list him as not. Only they really don't have no out, but Jaron Hall, he's not obviously going to play. He was the quarterback. So, I would think Justin Jefferson not playing this game. But what I'm saying is that, I would have taken the whole season because it's like, man, that team ain't going nowhere. But they done won 5 games now. And they're over 500. And, you add Justin Jefferson to Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson, and my man is just Dobbs is just playing well enough, doing enough uncanny stuff to win you some games you probably ain't got no business winning. So, and like I said, the Broncos have been playing some good football lately. You done beat 2 teams that are supposed to be in the Super Bowl contenders in back-to-back weeks. So, if you put a gun to my head, I'm gonna take the Vikings. But man, this is an interesting game. I'm gonna take the Vikings. I just think that they got a better team. I just think Dobbs is playing better. I think all around they're just playing better. Even though they're playing at Denver, I got the Vikings. But this is probably going to be a good game because I think Denver said, "Man, we got a chance to get ourselves into the playoff contention if we just keep winning." So, but I got the Vikings.
I'm going the other way.
You got the Broncos?
Yeah, man. Okay. Don't let me down. I'll say that.
Okay.
Don't let me down. Probably been a long time since I picked Denver to win a game, but I just think we'll see. I think they may have found a way to reel Russ in and find ways to win with him,
Yeah.
accept
Yeah.
his flaws, and like we said, like you said, a lot of the team morale, chemistry factors are now behind them. The trade deadline is gone. The guys are still there. The wins are starting to stack up. So and even despite what people say or whatever, I think highly of Sean Payton as a coach. So him being able to
I do
figure
too. I do too.
him being able to figure out the formula that's going to work for Russ, it's not surprising to me. So I would expect it to continue. And they're playing at home. I think the shine on Dobbs sort of comes off this Sunday night, and which is fine because I mean, he's a journeyman quarterback. It's a great story and all of that, but I think a little bit of that shine wears off on Sunday night, and that defense gets after him. And pretty good game, maybe not, but I'll take Denver. I just think Denver's going to find a way to win.
Okay. Denver finds a way to win. Denver's favored by 2.5. Um, so that's fine. I'm not mad at that pick at all. Denver's favored by they're playing probably gonna be snow and all that kind of stuff. And even though Minnesota's a team that's in an inclement state, they play indoors in a dome, so that's a totally different element. So that always plays a factor. So we'll just see. We'll just see. So that's the Sunday night game on NBC. So we go to Monday night, man. This might be the game of the decade. Man, I don't know about decade, but it's definitely the game of the year because it's a rematch of the Super Bowl combatants from last year. Both coming off of buys. The Eagles coming off of a sort of a I ain't gonna say a fluky win over the Cowboys, or the win they got, but they probably could have not have won that game. And the Chiefs coming off a win where they beat the Dolphins, where the Dolphins kind of didn't play as well as I thought they should have played. It was just a weird game. It was a weird game over in Germany. It was just weird. But they both, coming off wins. Um, Denver. KC is 7-2. Philadelphia Eagles are 8-1. Um, Their 8-1 is not like their 8-1 they were last year. So I think they may have been 8-1 last year at this point, the same point in the season. But it just seems like they're a little more vulnerable than they were last year. A lot of them games are a lot closer than they were last year. They've been kind of lucky in a lot of respects, fumbles bouncing right to guys, and they lost, should have lost. And sometimes it shows veteran leadership to win games like that, because it's easy to win games, you up 25 to 24-3 or something like that. But if it's a tight game and you just make enough plays to win it, you got that mental fortitude to just win games, to just concentrate, and you can just win a game. It does say something about you. It says a lot about Jalen Hurts. It says a lot about the Philadelphia Eagles, the style in which they play. Because I made the comment last week when I was critiquing the game when they beat the Cowboys, is that they beat the Cowboys. You watched the game, you would have thought they went up and down the field on Dallas, but they only had like 289 or 90 yards of offense. It's the efficiency with which they run their offense that makes them hard to stop. They don't waste anything. There ain't no wasted possessions, no wasted plays. They don't waste anything. They made that 289 yards look like it was 400 yards. And it parlayed that into 28 points. Like I was saying, the Cowboys flustered away 300 yards and a half, only got 28 points. The Eagles only had the same amount of yards for a whole game and made that stick. I mean, it made it look like they was going up and down the field. And that's all I'm saying. The efficiency that makes, they can just get 3 and 4 yards and on each play, and they can run that play that they run and they can get the first down and they can sustain drives. That's what makes them hard to beat. having said that, you give Andy Reid a week to prepare. That dude's 22-3. 22-3 over 25 games over his career for Philadelphia and Kansas City. And he got probably best player in the NFL playing right now, playing. And maybe they've got a week off to kind of look at some stuff they're not doing, some things that they can do better. I'm going to say this: Philadelphia defense past the line of scrimmage is not very good. And I'm talking about the coverage units and the safety units, the safety room, not very good to me. And they play a style that I think fits right into what Philadelphia is giving up. And then the Chiefs play the short game now. A lot of 8-yard plays, a lot of 12-yard plays, a lot of underneath stuff. Man, that's gonna be an interesting game because I think the Eagles move the ball a lot and well on them, but I think that the Chiefs do too. And I think they get one extra possession, and I think Patrick does something special. They win by a field goal, which I think they favored by. It says the Chiefs by 3.5. I think they win by 3. Probably one of the best games you'll probably ever see. I got the Chiefs by a field goal.
Fly, Eagle, fly.
Okay.
Eagles, man. I love their style of play. I love what they've been doing so far. And they need this type of win to the points you've been making. They do tend to find ways to just get it done, be efficient, but at times it may seem underwhelming. Well, this will be a statement win for them, and I think they're going to go out here and stamp it. So they owe them some give back. Granted, it's not on the highest level of which they lost, but it is an opportunity. And I expect them to seize the opportunity, go into KC and get that win.
Arrowhead's a tough place to play, dude. That's all I'm gonna say. Tough place to play. Andy Reid's a tough dude to play after he got time to prepare. You're always gonna have something you ain't prepared for. He always gonna catch you with your drawers around your ankles. That's all I'm gonna say. He gonna catch him with something. All they need is one possession. All they need is one.
Eagles up to the task, man. They up to the task. They've had to prepare for this team in a Super Bowl setting. So I think both teams are just, they sized each other up well before when it mattered the most. So I expect them to do the same on both sides. And I'm going to lean towards Philly's style of play to get the job done.
We'll see. We'll see. Kansas City's defense kind of been underrated. Matter of fact, their defense has been better than their offense. But the Eagles present a different type of challenge. Like I said, the way they play is the only way to beat them. You got to stop them on first down. You got to put them in 2nd and 10, 2nd and 9, 2nd and 8. If you let them get 3-4 yards on first down, you may as well just concede that first down to them because they're going to get it. Okay, so we'll see what they have in store, what Chris Jones has in store, what Trent McDuffie has in store, what Jalen Johnson has in store. I think that's the other corner's name. We'll see what they have in store. We're gonna see. I got the Chiefs, but hey man, the Eagles, we'll see. Probably the best game of the year, and I'm wondering if it's going to live up to the game that the Super Bowl was last year, because that probably wasn't one of the best Super Bowls we've seen. So, but we'll see. We're splitting on that. We split on 2 games. You went Broncos. I went Vikings. You go Eagles. I go Chiefs. So we're gonna see how that goes. All right. So we got 3 Thursday games. Okay. And because we're not gonna come on before Thanksgiving, and while I'm in that vein, let me throw this up here. Throw this up there. Boom. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to everybody, man. So we got your normal slate of games on Thanksgiving. You had the Detroit Lions, who's always on the menu, and the Cowboys is always on the menu, but they always have a late game for NBC that's been put on the last few years. So you got the Green Bay Packers going to Ford Field to play the Detroit Lions. Not a whole lot to say about that. Not really high on Green Bay this year. I just think Jordan Love probably need another year in the oven to bake with his receivers before we see what they can do. And the Detroit Lions, I think, just are a playoff team. They're the class of their division right now, and I just think Detroit's going to win that game. Hey man, a Thanksgiving where Detroit might be the best team that plays on Thanksgiving. Maybe, maybe, maybe. I got Detroit.
Yeah.
I got Detroit.
Somebody in another Northern California got something to say about that. But Detroit for sure on this game. It's funny or ironic. It's going to work in reverse because we're used to like this game happening on Thanksgiving, and it's always the other way around. So now it's like Detroit gets to relish in the fact that
being a favorite.
They get to beat up on the Packers on this day.
Yeah.
Where they used to be on the other end of that. So
Aaron Rodgers going there and hang 30 on them on Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Get him a fresh turkey. Get him a turkey leg on the sideline after.
I think they're gonna like being on the other side this year. So I actually might expect them to sort of rub it in on them too. Just make them feel it.
Okay. Detroit being a favorite on Thanksgiving is a new experience, man. And usually that first game is we be getting past. Oh, let's hurry up, get that game over and get to the Cowboys game. And not maybe so fast this time. We both got the Lions. Winning big on Thanksgiving. Okay. Then we got a traditional game. Washington Commanders traveling to AT&T Stadium in Arlington to play the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys in Washington played on Thanksgiving, I think, more than any team that they've played. So that's a sort of tradition to play the Washington team on Thanksgiving. So Washington comes in if they win the game on on Sunday, come in 5-4. They're 4-4 now, come in 5-4. Cowboys, if they win, will come in 7-3. This game is not going to be as cut and dried and slam dunk as everybody wants to make it. The Washington Commanders have not been playing bad football of late. Sam Howell is playing some good football, and they've beaten some teams that many probably thought they weren't capable of beating, and probably Ron Rivera may be coaching for his job too. There's that because Josh Harris didn't pick him. Anytime a new ownership comes in, they kind of, okay, we got this guy, man. We didn't pick him. So you kind of like on borrowed time to kind of see what you can get done. And if it's sort of meh, it's like, okay, let's just clean house and get our own dude, whatever. So Cowboys, if they, come in, they 7-3, they got a chance to put themselves in position to look into that showdown in a couple of weeks for the Eagles. Not that they're looking ahead, but I'm saying they better not look at the Washington Commanders as a team they can look past. That's all I'm saying. Talent-wise, I think the Cowboys can beat them, should beat them, and will beat them. But it's not going to be 35-7 or 35-14 or nothing like that. I'm thinking along the lines of like 28-20, something like that. And they may get a late, touchdown to put it out, make it a 2-score game. But I got the Cowboys winning it, but I think it's going to be real close. I got it being real close.
Yeah, I got Cowboys on upset alert for this game because they do have on the other side of that week the obvious rematch. And the Commanders really know how to make a game of it. And I've been saying that all season. You go in there, you expecting the Commanders might get rolled up. That's not how they play. They put points on the board. They got a lot of talent on offense. And Bieniemy has done a great job with distribution of plays and the ball. They move it
Yeah.
around. They get all their skill
Yeah.
position guys involved, and the Cowboys have to be real careful on Thursday because you could come in rolling in high because you just took care of the Panthers handily, and the Commanders on a short week with their
Short
ability,
week. Yeah.
with their
Both of
ability,
them on a short week, but yeah, short week. You know.
their ability to score points. Dallas got to be careful, man. I say
Yeah.
that they got to be careful. I'm not going to pick the Commanders, but I'm upset alert, man. Be
You're
careful.
thinking like I'm thinking then. Yeah. Sam Howell got some moxie, man. He got moxie. He got a little moxie about him, man. That's the thing. And he beat us last year.
And
So
they would love to obviously stick it to Dallas on that day. So
in their building.
just be
In their
careful.
building.
Be
Yeah.
careful, Dallas. Be careful, man. Don't look ahead. Don't look ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not only that, you're saying looking ahead to the showdown with the Eagles. A week from that, they got a showdown with the Seattle Seahawks
Mhm.
and the Eagles.
Yeah.
Okay, then Buffalo, then Miami, then Detroit, then Washington again. So yeah, it's a gauntlet. So you can't look ahead to nothing. You better play these games. Get a win when you can get one. So yeah, I got the Cowboys, but they better go in this thing with their best foot forward. Don't be missing your blocks. Don't be missing receivers. Don't be blowing coverages. You ain't got no margin that you thought you had. You don't. But I got the Cowboys winning, but they better buckle it up, button it up, man, button it up. Last game, Thursday night game. You got the San Francisco 49ers traveling to Quest Field or whatever they're calling it now, field in Seattle to take on the Seattle Seahawks. This is going to be an interesting game. 49ers right now playing real well. We'll see how they dispatch the Bucks on Sunday, but I think they're playing some good football right now, having rediscovered themselves. Seattle's a team that they can't just, roll in and think they can just, but I think the 49ers are the better team, obviously.
Mhm.
I think that goes without saying, but I think Seattle is no slouch, and they're a tough out at home. You got to play the elements and all that stuff, the wind. If it's raining, you got to deal with all that sort of stuff. Gino, sometimes Gino be playing some of them. Gino might have an outer world experience. He has them from time to time. Over a 400-yard, 4-touchdown game. Like, what the heck they come from? He got good enough weapons to do that with. And I think weapons-wise, they can go up against them with the weapons that they have. I don't think they take a back seat to the 49ers in weaponry, with DK and Tyler and Jackson Smith and then the running backs, Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker the third or whatever. They're just as good as them in the skill position. So just a matter of whether, because I think the 49ers are just stronger on the lines of scrimmage. And I think that's where the game is going to be won. I just think the 49ers on the offensive line with Trent Williams playing, and on the defensive line with arguably the best defensive line in football, man. I just feel like they're going to make life, for Geno Smith. I got the 49ers, but it might be an entertaining game, but I got the 49ers.
I definitely think it's going to be entertaining. It's going to be feisty. Seahawks defense is rowdy and ruckus, and they're going to look to bring smoke because that's a divisional game, and in their minds, they feel like we can be just as physical as this team. So I expect that Thursday night game might be the best one out of the three because there's going to be some hitting. It's going to be some hitting on both sides. And the Seahawks pride themselves on being strong and stout in the trenches as well. So, that's a good game. My thing is, which quarterback is going to turn the ball over less? I trust Brock Purdy to do that in that situation with all of his guys available. So as long as the 49ers go into that game healthy, I got the Niners for sure. But I'll say this. Debo, everybody knows Debo reputation. That young kid, Witherspoon from Seattle.
Ooh, that's good. Witherspoon is physical too. He's physical.
He
He
gonna,
likes to make contact,
yeah,
you
he
know,
gonna,
and Debo likes contact as well. So
he'll be
yeah,
looking for 19, and 19 will be looking for him.
yeah, yeah.
I expect them to run into each other a couple of times, and that's gonna be fireworks. So yeah,
Yeah.
uh,
That's a
I got
matchup you want to look at right there. Yeah,
oh yeah, I got the Niners. I do, but be feisty game.
yeah,
So
yeah,
you're gonna like to see that one. Don't miss that one. Whoever
yeah.
don't miss that one. That's gonna be
Yeah, I think that might end up being the best game. Both teams definitely got playoff bursts, you know, in their future. You know, both of them got designs on winning that division too. So, yeah, that's going to be you know, and shoot, they play again in a few weeks too. So, yeah, that's gonna be a barn burner, as Charles Barkley was a barn burner. So, yeah, we both got the 49ers, but man, if the Seahawks would win that one, man, I would like to see that too, because I think it'd be helpful if they, you know, move them on down the ranks. You know, I like our chances versus Seattle versus more so than I like it against the 49ers. Just the mental aspect of it, you know. So, I'm
Cowboys world, of course.
of course, everything is in a 6 degree of separation. It all kind of ties into the Cowboys in my mind, right? All ties into them, right? Right, right. Of course.
Yeah.
But that's the show for the week, man. Shoot, we done covered about freaking 16, 17 games, you know. And look, man, before we get off, man, happy Thanksgiving to everybody, man. Look, man, you might think life might not be what it's supposed to be, but look around you. If you look around, you start counting up the stuff, start counting up the alternatives, man, you would find out things a whole lot better than you think they are. So what I'm saying is be thankful on this Thanksgiving. Be grateful and be thankful for things being where they are in your life. And you can always got opportunities to work and make them better. So that's just a little axiom. You know, Uncle Fred always got to give you an axiom, you know, a life experience axiom. But as Thanksgiving comes around, and I hope you be able to spend time with your family, love on your family while you still have the opportunity to. And I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving from Uncle Fred and TK. TK, what you got, man?
Man, a lot of football, man. Enjoy the football games. I will. Um, got a healthy dose of that tomorrow and Thursday and Friday. I know we didn't cover it, but there's a game on Friday the next day as well. So
Yeah, that game in that week too.
yeah, well, I mean,
The
it's the
Jets and the Dolphins. Who you got?
I got the team called Speed.
Come on, man. Yeah, that ain't even don't need no. Cause I didn't even see that one on the daggum docket. I'm gonna have to look at because I didn't even see that one on the docket. Cause maybe because that's a next week game.
Well, it's Friday. It's the day after Thursday. Thursday
Yep,
sleep.
it sure is. It's on. Yeah. I didn't look far enough down. I got the Dolphins, man. I got the Dolphins. Every day I go with team speed. So yeah, that's on me on missing. I'm missing that one on the docket. But yeah, Jets at we're playing at the Jets now.
Which they could definitely, but they're gonna outscore 'em. That, and that's how you win. So yeah, no,
Remember,
that does matter. That does matter, but they're gonna outscore 'em.
you know the Jets only win. The only way they win, aside from they getting turnovers, is if you expect them to um, go 80 yards and 7 plays and whatnot, and then uh, that's not going to happen. Um, that often.
We'll say if the Jets manage to get a win tomorrow, then that makes that matchup a lot more spicy.
Yeah,
Still going Dolphins though.
Still going Dolphins.
Yeah, man.
All right. Well, you got Dolphins. I got Dolphins. And all I was doing here, I was putting that on the docket there because I missed it. It's on there now. Trying to multitask. Friday night, Dolphins at Jets. So we both got the Dolphins. So we're gonna see how them picks go. But anyway, man, happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and happy football watching. Enjoy these games, and while you got that extra turkey leg in your mouth, turn that game on and watch and sit back. And I know by the time Sunday come around, that next Sunday come around, you're gonna have leftovers. So don't make sure you saving them too, because you're gonna have some leftovers. So anyway, thanks for viewing the show this week, and happy football watching. And we'll catch you guys on next Saturday, and we'll see how our picks go. That's signing off in behalf of TK. I'm your boy Uncle Fred. Happy Thanksgiving. We catch you guys next week.